Section 10 of Selected Letters of Beethoven. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Robert Scott. Selected Letters, number 151, by Ludwig van Beethoven, as compiled and with footnotes by Dr. Ludwig Noll, and translated by Lady Grace Wallace. Letter number 151, to Mr. Solomon, London. Footnote 1. Vienna, June 1, 1815. My good fellow, countryman, I always hoped to meet you one day in London, but many obstacles have intervened to prevent the fulfillment of this wish, and as there seems now no chance of such a thing, I hope you will not refuse a request of mine, which is that you will be so obliging as to apply to some London publisher and offer him the following works of mine: Grand Trio for piano, violin, and violoncello, Opus 97, 80 ducats; Pianoforte Sonata with violin accompaniment, Opus 96, 60 ducats; Grand Symphony in A, one of my very best; a short symphony in F, the 8th; Quartet for 2 violins, viola, and violoncello in F minor, Opus 95; Grand Opera in score, 30 ducats; Cantata with choruses and solos, The Glorious Moment, 30 ducats; scoring of the Battle of Vittoria and Wellington's victory, 80 ducats; also the pianoforte arrangement of the same, if not already published, which, I am told here, is the case. I have named the prices of some of these works on a scale which I hold to be suitable for England, but I leave it to you to say what sum should be asked both for these and the others. I hear indeed that Kramer is also a publisher. Note: this is John Kramer, whose pianoforte playing was highly estimated by Beethoven. But my scholar, Rise, lately wrote to me that Kramer had not long since publicly expressed his disapproval of my works. I trust from no motive but that of being of service to art, and if so, I have no right to object to his doing this. If, however, Kramer should wish to possess any of my pernicious works, I shall be as well satisfied with him as with any other publisher, but I reserve the right to give these works to be published here, so that they may appear at the same moment in London and Vienna. Perhaps you may also be able to point out to me in what way I can recover from the Prince Regent, afterwards George IV, the expenses of transcribing the Battle Symphony on Wellington's victory at Vittoria, to be dedicated to him, for I have long ago given up all hope of receiving anything from that quarter. I have not even been deemed worthy of an answer whether I am to be authorized to dedicate the work to the Prince Regent, and when at last I propose to publish it here, I am informed that it has already appeared in London. What a fatality for an author! While the English and German papers are filled with accounts of the success of the work as performed at Drury Lane, and that theatre drawing great receipts from it, the author has not one friendly line to show, not even payment for the cost of copying the work, and is thus deprived of all profit. Footnote 2. For if it be true that the pianoforte arrangement is soon to be published by a German publisher, copied from the London one, then I lose both my fame and my honorarium. The well-known generosity of your character leads me to hope that you will take some interest in the matter and actively exert yourself on my behalf. The inferior paper money of this country is now reduced to 1/5 of its value, and I am paid according to this scale. After many struggles and considerable loss, I at length succeeded in obtaining the full value. But at this moment the old paper money has again risen far beyond the 1/5 part, so that it is evident my salary becomes for the second time almost nil, and there is no hope of any compensation. My whole income is derived from my works. If I could rely on a good sale in England, it would doubtless be very beneficial to me. Pray be assured of my boundless gratitude. I hope soon, very soon, to hear from you. I am, with esteem, your sincere friend, Ludwig von Beethoven. Footnote 1. J.P. Solomon was likewise a native of Bonn, and one of the most distinguished violin players of his time. He had been Kapellmeister to Prince Heinrich of Prussia, and then went to London, where he was very active in the introduction of German music. It was through his agency that Beethoven's connection with Birchall, the music publisher, first commenced, to whom a number of his letters are addressed. Footnote 2. Undoubtedly the true reading of these words, which in the copy before me are marked as difficult to decipher. End of letter number 151. End of section 10 of Selected Letters of Beethoven, as compiled and with footnotes by Dr. Ludwig Noll and translated by Lady Grace Wallace. Recording by Robert Scott, June the 18th, 2007.